Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad ZULKIFLY, N5MC110-F, and today I will be talking about interpersonal power and influence. But what is interpersonal power and influence? According to Cambridge University, interpersonal power means the potential influence of one person over the attitudes and behavior of one or more other people, which is the targets. According to EBS Co, interpersonal influence refers to the ability to affect another person's thoughts, feelings, or behaviors through various verbal and non-verbal methods. So, we already know about what is interpersonal power and influence, but how do we get the power and influence? Don't worry, I have prepared my interview session with my guests that will help you a lot on how to understand this topic better.
Alright, Assalamualaikum and good night, Isha. Thank you for taking the time to be a part of this interview. And today I will be interviewing you on the topic of interpersonal power and influence, which is an important aspect of leadership and teamwork, especially in a campus environment. Interpersonal power refers to a person's ability to affect or guide the behavior, thinking, or feelings of others through personal qualities like empathize, respect, trust, and experience, and not
Mhm.
just through formal authority and position. Meanwhile, interpersonal influence is the ability to persuade, inspire, or encourage others to act or think in certain ways, often through relationship building, credibility, and presence. Since you have experience as a student leader in MPP, your role like involving yourself using both interpersonal power and influence in different situations, whether dealing with peers, handling group tasks, or solving problems. And I think this your role is kindly suits my interview topic. So through
Mhm.
the interview, I hope to understand how your personal experience reflect these concepts and how they shape your leadership journey and interactions with others.
Mhm.
All right, so I will brief to anyone who is my guest tonight. So she
Mhm.
is known as Aisha Hamdan. She
Mhm.
is an alumni of the Student Representative Council, which is MPP, at Negeri Sembilan Branch Rembau campus. She was a mass communication student and a recipient of the Vice Chancellor Award for consistently achieving a Dean's List GPA of 3.9 and above. Congratulations, Aisha. All right. So Aisha, I would like to ask you about your maybe your biodata, like what are you doing right now and what is your experience to make sure everyone know about you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Adine,
All right,
for having me as your guest tonight. So,
all right.
hello everyone. My name is Aisha Minti Hamdan, and I am a former student representative council. I was the naib yang dipertua sesi 2023-2024, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
So yes, you mentioned about me being a mass communication student. I was a student of mass communication for diploma, and I just finished actually my diploma during March around that month.
Yeah. Okay.
And currently, I am doing my internship at Bank Pembangunan Malaysia Berhad under corporate social responsibility. And so
Wow.
far, yeah. So it's under it's if I were to explain it to people, it's, corporate social responsibility is like CSR.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a bit easier to you for you to understand, it's like doing charity work, but it's not the charity work that you have in your mind, which is like
Yeah.
um, giving free food to people and just
Okay.
spring cleaning in masjid or
Mm.
something. It's not just that.
Yeah.
It's broader than that. We could do competitions.
Yeah.
We could give grant for entrepreneurs, for SME entrepreneurs. So those are the activities that are part of CSR. So that's just a bit of what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for tonight, and really looking forward to for all of the questions.
All right. All right, Isha. So I wanna ask you a little bit question, which is, why did you choose to go for internship instead of going for degree?
All right.
I also like always thinking like I should go for internship first or just pursue my degree. So for someone who is actually go for the internship first, I really want to know why did you choose the internship first?
All right. So it really depends on the person actually. If it works for me, it doesn't mean that it will work for other people. So, but it depends. For me, I choose going for an internship before starting my degree because I would like to broaden my perspective on communications, not just in theory, but in real life experience.
Yeah, I kindly agree with you actually. All right, so the audience must be wondering, why did I choose Aisha as my guest today? I chose her for this interview because she is a capable and very impactful leader. I had the opportunity to work with her in a theater production, which is last semester, and during moments of conflict, especially when expressing different opinions, she was able to present her thoughts in a way that all of us and others accepted openly and respectfully. And that is her ability to influence people positively without forcing or dominating stood out to me. And she demonstrated how strong interpersonal power and influence through calm persuasion and mutual respect. That is why I believe she is truly represents the quality needed for this topic, and I think she is very
All right.
suitable for this interview session. All right. So without further ado, we will go to the first question. Are you ready, Aisha?
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Inshallah.
Allah. All right. So the first question is, as an MPP, how did you build interpersonal power and earn the respect of your team and peers?
Okay. So thank you for the first question. So
Right?
I'll just answer this based on my experience. If if you allow me to.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So based on my experience, I always make sure that I treat everyone fairly, regardless of their status, regardless of their gender, as well as their background on anything. Because I believe that everybody has the opportunity as well as the right to be treated fairly. So just because you're a little bit submissive or a little bit reserved doesn't mean you people can do bad things to you. So yeah, I
Mm,
think it's really important to treat people fairly, especially as a leader, because when you treat people fairly, those things will come back to you. You might
mm,
not find it, you might not feel it or experience that yet, but throughout your life journey or even your studies, you will always find why you should treat people fairly. So yeah, I think that's really important.
yeah, that's why
Does
you are
that
kind.
answer your
Yeah,
question? Does
yeah,
that answer your
really.
question? Okay.
Yeah, it's answer my question. Yeah, that's why you are one of the most apa tu, perfect leader for me, because you are being so fair to all of your team, your peers, and so on. All right. So for the next question, what type of interpersonal power did you find most effective in your leadership role?
All right. So I think the most effective type of power is actually a combination of two power, which is expert power as well as referent power. Correct me if I'm wrong,
All
because
right.
I'm still learning as well. So
Yeah, it's okay.
learning goes both ways. You could learn from me, and I can learn from you. So
Yeah,
if I'm
exactly.
wrong, just let me know.
All right.
Okay. So the type of power that I think is most effective is expert power with a combination of referent power. So expert power is like when you know your data, when you know your knowledge. So when you have those substance, people could trust you. So when you have this power as well as referent power in which you build friendships with people, not just authority, that is the perfect, not perfect lah, but the most effective type of power.
Yeah.
Those two combination. So especially as a woman, when you have the knowledge as well as you have the connection with people, you have the friendship, not just authority, meaning people don't only respect you, but they like you. So that's really
Mhm.
important. Yeah.
All right. I kindly understand what you're trying to tell me, but where did you find about this leadership, this interpersonal power?
I didn't really like find it. I experienced it. So,
I see. All right.
in communication, whatever you
Mm-mm.
do, there must be a theory about it.
Mm-mm.
There must be someone in the world writing about what you're doing. So for
Yeah.
example, I give you a very close example to us, which is whenever the media tries to portray something,
Mm-mm. Yeah.
it's called setting theory. So that's one of it. So actually, whatever we think about, there is a theory about it. So whenever I
Yeah.
experience it, I just Google it. So this is actually called as expert in reference power. So
Mhm.
yeah, but to answer your question, it's through experience, and when I experience it, I just Google it, to understand it better, especially as a communication student.
I just asked you two questions, but I think I learned a lot from you actually.
Not really. I am also learning from you. Okay.
It's okay. It's an honor to have you as my guest tonight. Actually, thank you so much because
No, it's
you
okay.
can spend your time. All right. Can we go to the next question? All right. So the next question is, how did you influence your team members or fellow students to stay committed and motivated during challenging situations?
So, how I keep my team
Yeah.
motivated? I would usually just celebrate small wins. I think that's really important, not just as a leader. I think as a person, even as a person, you can't just wait for you to really succeed in your exams, in your big exams. Even if you just pass your tests, you should also celebrate that. And I am a firm believer that we should always celebrate small wins, especially in organizations. So my point was, celebrate small wins. Doesn't matter. It's just them organizing the chairs, susun kursi semua. It doesn't matter. Even the small steps is also a step.
Yes.
So yeah, that's how I keep my team motivated. Celebrate them.
I see. I kindly agree with you about like sometimes there is a captain or team leader who does not really like or love to celebrate small achievement. Instead of they always like find an excuses to, I don't know, being angry with their team members or so on. So I really appreciate a kind of leader who will always celebrate small achievement actually, like you. All right. So we will go to the next questions.
Alhamdulillah.
Have you ever been All right.
Mhm.
Have you ever been in a situation where your interpersonal power wasn't enough to lead effectively? And how did you overcome them?
Right. So yeah, there was a time when my influence alone wasn't enough. It was actually during a program called I can't remember really the name of the program, but it was a program where we gave a few hundreds to students for those who like win entrepreneurship program, something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember really because during my tenure
Mm-hmm.
there was 80
Wow.
initiatives and
Yeah.
programs, so yeah, I kind of mixed
It's
up.
okay.
But during that program, uh do you know they went with wonder,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, Deobduanda is
Yeah, I see.
huge, and the maximum capacity is actually
All right.
1,000. But during that night, the people who participated in that program was just not even
Yeah.
half of the hall. It was just, I think it's just around 100 people who participated in the event. So it shows that even even when I was in the power, people wouldn't want to listen to me because they didn't want to come to the program. So yeah, that was the time when
Yeah.
my influence wasn't enough, because if it was enough, people would come to the program
Yeah.
and the hall would be full. But it was not full.
Mm-mm.
So how I overcame that
Yeah.
situation, I called all of the club leaders,
Yeah.
president club, to just tell all of their anak-anak buah to turun. So
Mm,
yeah, that was how I fixed it. But it still wasn't enough. But it was okay compared to the the starting of the event.
yeah, we are not always have the power to influence people like our teammate and so on. But actually, the most important one is how did we overcome like all the problems and so on. All right. So the next question is, what technique did you use to gain influence over people who were difficult, uncooperative, or initially disagreed with you?
All right. So I'm not really sure if we can call this as a technique, but how I usually deal with difficult people, I will always try to stay calm. If they're yelling, I will never match the yelling
Mm-mm.
with yelling. That's rule number one. And rule number two is try to find common ground, meaning you have to try to find where the point, where you and that person has a mutual
Mm.
understanding. So, for example, if we are working on a plan that in which we want students to have better access to the
Mm-mm.
Wi-Fi, for example, in
Yeah.
which will never happen because it's not under our control.
Mm-mm.
It's just an example. Maybe we would argue things on how my way wouldn't work or his way or her work would work. So the common ground is to always understand that it's not me versus him or her, it's us
Yeah.
versus the problem.
Especially
Yeah.
probably. All right. All right. So the next question is, how did you adapt your communication style to like influence different types of individuals such as students, lecturer, or administrations?
We have to understand that different people have different approaches, not just people, especially different levels of
Yeah.
generations, I could say. So with students, of course we have to be casual. We have to be really
Yeah.
friendly, or at least we use the slangs that Gen Z understands, if you get what I mean. But with professors, you cannot treat them like that because they are in
Yeah,
a
actually.
different generation.
Yeah, yeah.
So with professors, instead of talking casually, we have to be really specific and really straightforward, because a lot of lecturers, they really don't have time. So whatever you want to talk, whatever you want to like say to them, just be as specific as possible, and make sure that you get your point and they get your point.
I see. All right. Yeah, I understand what you want to do. All right. So the last two question is there were a moment where you had to rely more on empathy and connection than authority to lead or influence a
Where
group?
empathy
And can you give
is
me some example, maybe?
where we had to rely more on empathy, is it? So I think
Yeah,
one
True.
example I can give you was during exam season. So during exam seasons, yeah, I usually would have to give more. I would usually have to show more empathy to them, especially as a leader who do not have exams because I am a student of mass communication who's doing diploma, so I wouldn't always have to go into exams.
All right. Mass comm
So
student.
during exam season, I
All
always
right.
have to show empathy instead of pushing them to
Yeah.
finish their work. So that's really important moment where I had to show empathy more than authority, meaning I lead with kindness instead of authority and power. So when I do this, it shows that I understand their
Yeah.
position and just listen to them. So yeah, that was the moment.
I also a mass comm student, so I don't really have an exam. So it's really relatable for me. All right. All right. So the last question is, what advice would you give to maybe future student leaders who want to develop strong interpersonal power and influence in their
Yep.
leadership journey, maybe in campus,
So I would
school, or maybe in
say,
their workplace?
I would say that whoever you are, if you want to be a leader, make sure that you have the ability for it. That's number one. Because if you don't know that you are capable of doing it or not, it's gonna cause a lot of problems in the organization. That's number one. And number two, if you want to be a leader, make sure that you treat everyone with the same respect as everyone,
Yeah.
regardless of their status as well as their background. So that's number two. And number three, always try to lift others up, um, not just for yourself, but for the younger generations. I, I mean, it sounds a bit patriotic, but it's true. Always lift others
Yeah.
up, not just for you, but for the future generations. Yeah, that's all I can say.
All right. Thank you, Aisha, for your cooperation and you spend your time tonight for this interview session. I hope that maybe in next interview I will have you again to ask you about more leadership skill, about
All right,
interpersonal
thank you.
power or maybe influence. And thank you so much for your cooperation.
So that's all about interpersonal power and influence. That's all from me, Deng Shapsha. Thank you.